the Commissioner's National Priority Voucher Program. I've been investigating that as well for the last 6 months. This program expressly allows political leaders to short-circuit science and pick and choose politically favored treatments. Now, White House and FDA leadership have pressed staff to award vouchers to certain companies as part of White House pressure campaigns. And most recently and egregiously, the FDA just issued 3 of those vouchers for psychedelics based on a text from Joe Rogan. And one of those psychedelics was denied by the FDA in 2024. So let's just go through what happened here. Joe Rogan had a guest on his podcast, and the guest was talking about psychedelics. Joe Rogan texted the President of the United States, and the President texted back, quote, "Sounds great. Do you want FDA approval? Let's do it," end quote. That was from the President of the United States. So just to be clear, is the President of the United States allowed to grant FDA approval?
The career staff...
Is the President of the United States allowed to grant FDA approval?
The career staff at FDA all supported that decision.
Is the President of the United States allowed to grant FDA approval? Because he thinks he is. Is he wrong?
He doesn't do it.
He doesn't do it. So, and yet the FDA, within hours...
There's been no FDA approval.
...issued 3 priority vouchers from this illegal, unauthorized program to respond to political pressure from the White House. Secretary, this flies in the face of your stated commitment to putting science over politics. We are literally seeing politics put over science. Now, let's just understand why the president might have bent over to do the bidding of Joe Rogan. He has a disastrous war in Iran that has led even his most committed supporters in his base, like Joe Rogan, to question his competence. And in order to appease Joe Rogan's ire, he grants FDA approval. Safety and efficacy should be the standard for these drugs.
Do you want a grandstand or do you want an answer?
Not
do you want a grandstand or do you want an answer?
I want safety and efficacy to be the standards by which psychedelics are approved, not the president's attempt to shore up support from his base for a disastrous war in Iran. It should not be Joe Rogan's decision what psychedelics are approved. It should be the decision of randomized controlled trials.
And we are doing non-politicized science for the first time in history.
Let me close with a final question here, reclaiming my time.